Hello and welcome back. My name is Marvelous Marva, and today I titled the video podcast. I'm back on camera, you can see. I titled it, Are Your Psychic Powers Online After the Portal, the 717 portal? So yesterday was an important day, and this video or this podcast might also serve as like a timeless message because a lot of stuff happened, like energetically. We may not have been able to see it or feel it, but a lot of stuff was happening under the surface. And I woke up this morning around 6. I was awoken. My cat, he sleeps really close to me. My main cat, his name is Xander, and he sleeps really close to me. And this morning he kind of like bit my hand. He kind of woke me up, not in a playful way. So I got up and I went to go ahead and feed them because I've changed their eating lately to separate feedings, because I noticed the new kitty that I have is eating all the food, and Xander, my older kitty, he's like letting her and not eating and losing weight, and it was freaking me out earlier last week. So that's a whole nother thing. So anyway, I've got them on this new schedule. I get up, I go feed them, and then I'm like, dang, I looked at the time because I don't keep my phone in the room to see what time it is anymore. And I stopped by, looked at the time. I was like, dang, it's only 6. I'm going back to sleep. So I went back and laid down, and I did go back to sleep. So while I was sleeping, it feels like I was only sleeping for maybe like 5 minutes. But while I was sleeping, I had this intense dream. And not a lot happened, but there was a lot of key moments that like stuck in my memory as soon as I woke back up. I got back up at 8 o'clock. So I was asleep for 2 hours to be exact. So when I got back up, the immediate thing that I remembered was in the dream, there was children, and it was like these 2 kids, and one of them had their tongues out, but like their tongue was like super long. And I was just like, that's weird. And it was so long, like it was trying to get my attention to show me how long the tongue was. It was like, pay attention. This is important. This tongue is a message. And then it was like I almost like was going to disregard it and like move on to the next thing that was happening in the dream. But then another person showed up with the long tongue, and it was just like swinging. And I was like, okay. And then towards the end of the dream, I remember, like, I was working in the dream. I was doing some sort of a new job, and I was working with someone. So this person that I was working with, it was a guy. It was a young gentleman. No one that I know, just he was a young black guy. I remember thinking that he was handsome, but he was a young black guy. Towards the end of the dream, he hands me these pills. He has pills in his hand, literally. And he was like, you want some of these pills? And I was like, I don't know. I was like trying to hesitate. And he poured them in his hand. And it was a blue pill. It was a blue pill. It was so clear as day. It was a blue oval pill. And he was like, he kind of like put it to my mouth, and he was like, here. And then he was like, I'm going to give you another one. I was like, no, one is good. One is good. So I only took one. And then once I put it in my mouth and I like tasted the pill taste, I remember tasting the taste. It was like so like soda, like baking soda kind of like. So he goes, don't worry, it's just sodium pills. And I was like, okay. So I ended up waking up, and and this was what happened after the dream. As soon as I woke up at 8, first thing in my mind was Durga. I kept hearing Durga, Durga, Durga. And I was like, Durga? And I was like, you know what? I know, I've heard the word Durga before. What does that mean? So I made my coffee first. I was like, let me just calm down. I made my coffee first because I had all these thoughts in my mind. And I drank my coffee, and then I went outside. Like right before I went outside, as my coffee was brewing, I pulled up Durga. And then I found out, let me just tell you who Durga is. I've got my computer right next to me. So Durga is the invincible goddess. She is a major Hindu goddess worshipped as a principal aspect of the mother goddess Mahadevi. She is associated with protection, strength, motherhood, destruction, and wars. It says she is the most fierce, powerful, and revered deity in the religion. So this is like Hindu religion. And a little bit of a backstory. Before I moved to Galveston in 2020, during like the whole pandemic, I met these amazing people, and they exposed me to all of this Hindu like customs. It was amazing. Like I learned how to chant. I learned how to I went to bhakti farms. It was amazing. I'm just gonna tell you, it was a lot of magic and a lot of amazing things that were happening at that time. A lot of community. And so after I looked up Durga, so back to the story. After I looked up Durga, I thought about it, and something else. I was standing outside on my patio, drinking my coffee, reading about Durga, and then I was in Wikipedia and something showed me the word Kali, and I was like, Kali? It's like, okay. So I looked up Kali, and I'm gonna put pictures on this video so that y'all can see who Durga is visually and who Kali is visually. Kali is the mother goddess of time, change, destruction, and power. I read through everything about Kali, and I was like, hold up. It said mantra. And of course, coming from the background from pandemic time, my experience of the pandemic, learning all about chanting and mantras, I saw on there Adishakti. So basically what happened was I went ahead and I pulled up Adishakti. I remember I wasn't sure if it was the same mantra that I had heard back, 2 years ago, or back, 2020, 2021. I wasn't sure if it was, but it turned out that it was. I started listening to it, and mind you, I'm still on my patio this entire time. I started listening to it. I was just standing there, and I have this beautiful tree on my patio, and tears just start. As soon as I played it on YouTube, tears just started flowing, and I had just woken up. All of this happened in the span of like 30 minutes. Tears were flowing down my face, and I was like, my heart just felt so open and so full, and I was just standing out there crying, and I was like, there was no thoughts happening in my mind. It was just like a knowing, like there's something that needed to be released. Here is the release pack. The release pack is this dream that you just had. Follow the clues, and when you follow the clues, it will lead you to a great feeling of like relief. It felt so deep down, like almost like it was definitely releasing pains and things that needed to be released. I can't go into detail to say exactly what was released, but I feel like it was for sure purging. Anytime you spontaneously cry, things like that, it's definitely necessary, needed, and for me, it's welcomed. So that is today's episode. I just wanted to talk about my experience and what happened. And the whole time while I'm recording this, they've been cutting the grass downstairs. I forgot. And I'm hoping that you've been able to hear everything I've been saying. And I hope that you like these episodes, these podcast episodes. I have been at it since the beginning of the year, and I'm still at it. Once a week I upload. And something else that's new, I went ahead and signed back up to TikTok. So I'm back on TikTok. And they say with this Cancer new moon that we just went through, that a lot of things that was from the past is kind of resurfacing to access, do we really still, do we like it? Or maybe ask us to just reassess it, maybe try to use it a different way. And I've been using it a different way. I noticed the cracks of where I could get lost on there, but I also remember the fun of where I could just make videos like just like that. It's really fun. It's a really good creative outlet, and that's, in my opinion, why it's gained so much traction and why so many people like it. So I'm back on there. I will put the link in my description and in my bio so people you can follow me on TikTok. I've been so far putting up questions of the day. So every day not every day, but there's several videos up there. I'm just asking different questions and putting my 2 cents into the question I'm asking, and just kind of like to help us all like think a little bit more. So I don't know. That's what I have been up to lately. And I hope that you guys are just hanging in there, doing the best that you can. Like, there's nothing for us to do but be here. Everything is unfolding as it should, in the right time, in divine timing. You're not going to be left behind. Everything is working out the way that it should. Just try to remember that. Have faith that you're here for a reason. And even if there is no reason, that's okay too. Just be here, and if there's no reason, it gives you even more reason to just enjoy yourself and enjoy the experience of being in such a beautiful place. Our natural world is chef's kiss. I'm going to show you towards the end of this, or at the end of this, I'll show you the flowers that are on my patio so that you can see. Like, I have no reason to complain. None of us, I mean, there are some people that probably do have a reason to complain, so I won't take that from them. But when you really just stop and look around and see the magic and beauty that our minds can like come up with and that nature has provided us with, yeah, it's hard to not feel like gratitude and like just happiness. So with that being said, I am going to leave today's episode here. I trust that you found this information to be helpful. And I have also, one last thing, I've also created on TikTok, I'm trying to invite more of a community. And so I'm calling us the Marvelous Beings. So there's nothing to do. All you have to do is just like, I don't know, just follow me, subscribe, and just be a part of this. Comment in the comment section how your experience is going. I don't know where this would go, but I do think that it's an important time for us to have community of like-minded individuals, a place where we can kind of go and like, process some of the things that's happening to us internally that not everyone is experiencing at the same time. So, wherever you are, whether it is morning, noon, or night, until next time,